talk about the double standards, hypocrisy in the sport of boxing internationally, or you want to talk about just North America, America itself, it's, it's appalling sometimes, man. But we back, Goodfella Sports TV. Y'all know what the business is. Don't forget, we on Facebook, Twitter. Also, you can email me, you can DM me, add me at any of those, social media accounts, man. Ask me a question, ask for a video request, any type of question. I try to get back at you as fast as possible. Also, want to make a donation to the channel. That link's in the description as well. Salute to everybody that do donate to Goodfella Sports TV. And we back, man. We want to do a video on this topic, man. Somebody made an interesting post in one of the boxing groups I'm in on Facebook, and it kind of molded the idea for this video. All right, and just taking a look at the case of Terence Crawford versus Vasyl Lomachenko as pound for pound champion. In boxing right now. I mean, you can continue to make cases and cases versus everybody else. And obviously you have, different fans, even black fans, Mexican fans, white fans, Brits, Jamaicans, whoever, Canadian fans, whoever will have an opinion about, who should be on the pound for pound list. And it's an opinionated list, all right? But, when people tell me, oh, Terence Crawford don't deserve to be on the list or don't deserve to be number one, who did he beat and woo. And they will try to tell you, well, Lomachenko was the best fighter on Top Rank's roster. You know what I'm saying? They'll try to sell you that. Definitely not buying it. You know what I'm saying? Not by a long shot. You can say whatever you want to say about Crawford's resume, but I believe Crawford's resume is by far better than Lomachenko's. You tell me who on Lomachenko's resume will beat Terence Crawford. Okay? People just act like the Orlando Salido Vasyl's victory over Lomachenko never happened. People act like Salido just didn't beat the hell out of Lomachenko. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to hear nothing about the weight or nothing like that. That excuse went out the window when Lomachenko didn't ask for a same day weigh-in. Okay? That went out the way when Lomachenko was so arrogant that he didn't ask Salido to be re-weighed in the day of the fight. He looked at Salido's record. He had several losses on his record and said, oh, I'm easily going to beat this guy. And he got schooled and he got beat. I don't care about the weight. Because he didn't care to ask for a same-day weigh-in. His arrogance was his downfall. And he got in there and got whooped on. However you slice the cake, he lost. And people want to try to act like the loss didn't happen. All right? It happened. So you telling me Orlando Salido will ever beat on Terence Crawford? Never. No Salido caliber fighter will ever beat Terence Crawford. Especially while Terence Crawford is in his prime. That won't happen. So how can you tell me that Lomachenko's pound for pound number one and he losing to Salido? You could say, oh, it was in his second fight. I don't care. This dude got 2 gold medals. He had pro fights in the World Series of Boxing. Him, Rashid Warren, Usyk, okay, Joe Joyce, Sergey Derevchenko. These dudes get over here and these dudes see I got 15, 16 fights. These dudes have pro experience. They have fights. They just don't translate into professional fights over America because little rules they got. But don't let that fool you. Oh, he did this in his second fight. Man, them fools had several fights over there. Derevchenko had 23 fights in the World Series of Boxing. He had 23 fights. Not sure how many Lomachenko had. But at the end of the day, whatever he came in, however old, Lomachenko was when he came over to America. And he asked to be on the fast track. He's supposed to be the greatest thing since sliced bread. So I don't want to hear, in this second and third fight, that was his fault. He went for 2 gold medals. So I can't dock no other fighter. I can't dock no other fighter for, because he turned pro and he moved up the way he's supposed to move up. Fact of the matter remains that you can't be pound for pound number one losing to Orlando Salido. Period. Imagine if Terence Crawford, at any point in his career, was competitive with Orlando Salido. If it was, he won by 1 or 2 points versus Orlando Salido. Imagine that. Oh, he can't be pound for pound. He struggled with Orlando Salido. It ain't no margin for error for them fighters on the coincidental list, like Dante from Dante Boxing Nation say. It's no margin for error for the Andre Wards, for the Errol Spences, for the black fighters in America. It's no margin for error. You know what I'm saying? The margin for error is none. You got to look spectacular in every fight you've been in. You tell me a fight where Terence Crawford struggled. He's been spectacular. The same competition Lomachenko faced, if not better. You tell me this pound for pound fighter Lomachenko fought. Seriously. You tell me the pound for pound fighter Lomachenko fought. Rigondeaux, he moved up 2 weight classes. You want to say Rigondeaux? Okay, Rigondeaux, he moved up 2 weight classes. Nicholas Walters, he sat out a year because they tried to shelf him for not taking the original Lomachenko fight. Rocky Martinez, Mikey Garcia already did that. You know, Orlando Salido, Mikey dropped Orlando Salido several times. Say what you want to say. Well, it was Lomachenko's second fight. Ain't nobody forced Lomachenko to fight Salido in his second fight. Nobody. You know, he wanted to rush, and he the one that didn't want to do, you know, didn't want to make Salido weigh in again. He got beat up. When he came back at the end of the fight, hey, it's a 12-round fight. He lost. Like I said before, they got professional experience. Don't let that shit fool you. Oh, only his second fight. Whatever they do the World Series of Boxing, that all them Eastern Europeans dudes go over there first. So don't let that fool you. Once again, don't let it fool you. Gary Russell, good fighter. Really good fighter. Still undefeated. That's his best name on his resume. In his day, it was a weight class they both was comfortable was at. Great win. But he ain't fuck with Terence Crawford, even to this day. Nobody tell you that Gary Russell better than Terence Crawford. Good fighter. You know? Pedraza, would Pedraza touch Terence Crawford at 130, 135? No. Will Linares drop Crawford at 135? No. And people say, well, Gamboa hurt him. So what? Shit happen. It does. You know, Gamboa started off at lower weight classes like Linares. I think Linares started off at 126. You know? And Linares dropped Lomachenko. If he went back to the body, he might have finished Lomachenko off. Linares wouldn't touch Terence Crawford at 135. He got blew out. Adrian Broner at 135 wouldn't have got floored by Linares. He'd have beat the crap out of him. He'd have stopped Linares faster than Lomachenko. So everybody trying to act like, you know, Lomachenko's done some type of godly thing. Like he took a loaf of bread and fed the world with it, and took one fish and fed the world with it, and they was real, real full. He didn't do nothing spectacular. He hasn't done anything to show me that this dude is an iconic pound for pound #1 fighter. Anything. He ain't did nothing that Pernell ain't done. Matter of fact, he ain't done things Pernell has done. He hasn't done what Crawford's done. He ain't became undisputed. I think it soon will happen if he can get the Richard Comey fight next. Well, that still won't make him undisputed. He have to go through Mikey Garcia. Mikey Garcia decide to come back down. He just not unified titles. Well, he hasn't unified titles yet, has he? No. He unified titles December 8th. So you tell me what spectacular thing he did. He didn't unify titles at 126. He didn't unify titles at 130. You know? He didn't beat the guy at 126, whoever the guy was, other than him, the lineal champ. I don't believe he held the WBO title. 126, he beat Gary Russell, but, you know, was Gary Russell the lineal champ, or was, you know, Santa Cruz or somebody else at the time the lineal champ? You tell me. So this dude then went through 3 weight classes, and he ain't fought the lineal champ. He went through 3 weight classes so far, and he hasn't became undisputed. And a lot of people don't respect, you know, Pedraza being undisputed. People tell me, well, Terence Crawford, you know, he didn't beat anybody on this way to undisputed. Hey, Victor Postol wasn't a bad fighter. Victor Postol beat Matisse. Made him quit. It hadn't been done before, I don't believe, to that point. It hadn't been done. And Dago was a road warrior. Went on the road and stopped 2 people. You know what I'm saying? So, at the end of the day, you can nitpick anybody's resume. But there's no way, shape, form, and fashion once you can break it down like this. You know, you break it down like this to tell me Lomachenko better than Terence Crawford. It ain't. Lomachenko said out of his mouth, I believe, that he ain't messing with Crawford. Crawford offered that I'll fight you at 137. Before I get up at 140, I'll fight you at 137, we can see. Lomachenko don't want that smoke. A lot of people riding with Lomachenko because he got the complexion for the selection. It's anything to make it harder on the brother. Because people so conditioned and they so used to seeing black American fighters dominate the sport of boxing. That's why the UK fans are so happy. They feel like Eddie Hearn got them feeling like they control boxing, but they don't. When the last fighter from the UK was considered the pound-for-pound title holder or champion of the world? None. Never. Never you seen a guy from the UK become the top dog in the world. The Philippines have done it with Manny Pacquiao before the UK have done it. And a lot of American fans feel a connection, you know, between these Eastern Europeans because they skin color, they can relate to them. That's what they relate to. And let's keep it real. They relate to the skin color. And you see Bob Arum, he tries to play on that. That's why he over here and he invests into the Booz Putins or the Ingus, the Meme Machine. He invests into the Lomachenko. He's investing into these guys to sell them as a new great white star, but they don't speak English. And when these fighters don't speak English and they got an accent, the casual white Americans, they're not going to gravitate to them. Now the hardcore American boxing fans that want to see a white fighter prevail and want to see a fighter they got the skin color to relate to, they'll go ahead and accept it. But those type of dudes, it's few far in between. It's not enough of them. You trying to appeal to the casual public, like the Great White Hype, where they went to get that white guy to fight Damon Wayans. Because he appealed to the casual white fan. They wanted to see it. That's why people are trying to push Loma above, you know, a Terence Crawford, an Errol Spence, a Mikey Garcia, or at the time above Andre Ward. He ain't messing with none of them dudes. Except you maybe say Mikey Garcia. I doubt it though. He ain't done nothing that ain't nobody else already done. Linares has been stopped a few times. That's already been done. Victor Postal, he hadn't been beat. I don't believe he had been beat to that point. Maybe I'm wrong. But Crawford beat him. You know, Gamboa hadn't been stopped, I don't believe, to that point. Crawford stopped him. Jeff Warren hadn't been stopped to that point. The great Manny Pacquiao, who was a heavy favorite over Jeff Warren, he hadn't been stopped to that point. So he's doing things that hadn't been done. Salido has several losses on his resume. He beat Lomachenko. That's a fact. That's a fact. That's just a big fact. He beat Nicholas Walters, but when Walters coming off a draw to Moraga? No, Jason Sosa, excuse me. He beat Jason Sosa. Was that impressive? He beat Moraga. Oscar Valdez had just beat Moraga. How impressive is that? You know, and people say, well, you know, people, you know, ain't trying to fight him, man. You know what I'm saying? Guys ain't trying to fight him. You know, they ducking Lomachenko and this and that. Hey, who problem is that? Who problem is that? Plenty of guys been aged out over the course of their career. And had to face way worse. Way worse. Plenty of guys have been aged out. Plenty of guys have been chasing the money, man, like Aaron Pryor, chase Sugar Ray Leonard. How Sugar Ray Leonard waited for Marvin Hagler to fight John Beast Mugabe to jump in and give him an opportunity to fight years down the line. It been happening. You know, got plenty of guys that's dealt with worse. But you can't tell me that Lomachenko resume. You can't tell me that Lomachenko resume is something out of the ordinary, extraordinary. People downplay Terence Crawford. I just named out several things that hadn't been done that he did. When's the last guy to unify the 140-pound division? I can't remember. Devin Alexander didn't do it. Timothy Browdy didn't do it. Amir Khan didn't do it. Victor Ortiz didn't do it. You know, maybe Costa Zoo did it. Floyd didn't do it. Manny Pacquiao didn't do it. Damn sure didn't try. You know, you tell me. You tell me. What has Lomachenko done that hasn't been done in the sport of boxing? You tell me. He's done nothing extraordinary like people make it seem to be. Of course, he's a pound-for-pound top-fan fighter, but that's not saying much today. You know, and people want to throw Canelo Alvarez in the debate. Well, didn't he cheat? I say he was clean for Triple G. In my opinion, I think Terence Crawford still give Floyd Mayweather a better fight than Canelo Alvarez today. You know, period. Canelo, a flat-footed guy that loads up on each shot, that don't let his hands flow. I think Terence Crawford got a better chance of beating, Mayweather than Canelo. People talk about the weight. Canelo had to come down some, but Crawford got a better style to beat Floyd Mayweather. Let's not act like Canelo Alvarez, every big win he had ain't been by the hair of his chin. People thought it was debatable he lost to Cotto. People thought he lost to Austin Trout. A lot of people thought he lost to Erislandy Lara. People thought he lost to Golovkin back-to-back. You know what I'm saying? Every big fight that he had, people thought he lost. Golovkin, who did he beat? People thought he lost to Canelo twice. His biggest win is Danny Jacobs. His next biggest win is welterweight and Kell Brook. He's 36 years old. He's 4 or 5 years older than Terence Crawford. He ain't accomplished nothing. In the grand scheme of things, he ain't even a Hall of Famer if you look at his resume. He manufactured. And people try to tell you, well, Errol Spence don't deserve to be there, or Jared Hurd don't deserve to be there. Why not? Jared Hurd beat Lara more convincingly than Canelo did. Way more convincing. And dropped him. Canelo supposed to be this monstrous puncher. He dropped him. He beat Austin Trout more convincingly. He stopped Austin Trout. Canelo didn't do that. No, he unified the division. Why not? Why not? Errol Spence clearly won to beat Kell Brook in his step-up title fight. Why not? And they both testing clean when they do drug tests. You want to say you side up about it, don't matter. They ain't popped hot. Well, Canelo, 27 years old. That excuse played out. Nobody trying to hear that. You know what I'm saying? You can poke a hole through all these dudes. But them saying, oh, who Crawford fought? I mean, a lot of these dudes got gift decisions. Canelo record full of gifts. Gift wrapped in Christmas, in Santa Claus Christmas wrap. Full of gifts. Canelo arguably can have 5 or 6 losses on his resume, including a pair of fights with Miguel Vasquez people ain't ever seen before. Okay? Golovkin could arguably have 2 losses on his resume. If not 3 to Danny Jacobs. They always want to try to build up, their favorite fighter resume. They want to build up the fighter's resume. They got the complexion for their selection. Okay? And it's taboo for us black people to support our fighters and to really keep it real like this. That's why I did the video. And a lot of people not going to like the video, but it's the truth. It's the truth. Lomachenko ain't did nothing that ain't been done in the sport of boxing. Canelo ain't done nothing but get gift decisions his whole career. Resume, he fought a lot of good fighters compared to what these other dudes' resume is. But guess what? He's still ducking smoke. He's still ducking Danny Jacobs smoke. He's still stuck in Jamal Charlo smoke. He left the division. He come back, though. And if he don't, Charlo said he go chase him down. But every fight he had is about a hair of his chin. They try to discourage you from talking about the Charlos pound for pound and talking about Jared Hurd pound for pound. But these the same dudes that want the opportunity, that'll go up and want the opportunity versus Canelo, but he don't want to dish the opportunity out. So be it. But you ain't gonna tell me, you're not gonna sell me, you're not gonna tell me that Lomachenko is pound for pound number 1 over Terence Crawford. You're not going to sell me that he pound for pound over Mikey Garcia. You're not going to sell me that he pound for pound over Errol Spence. I don't believe he's a better fighter than Errol Spence. No, I don't believe so. Don't think he's a better fighter than Terence Crawford. I don't think his resume, his wins are better than Jared Hurd, who's unified already. With a minimum amateur career. No amateur career, basically. What, he had 30, 35, 40 amateur fights? If you really want to get technical, you talking about resume and body of work. Jared Hurd body of work better than Lomachenko's. Especially if he beat Jamil Charlo. Unified champion, 3 belts. You know what I'm saying? They want to try to sell you that like he got the greatest resume of all time and he the most, he's one of the greatest defenders. He ain't got no defense. He ain't no great defensive fighter. He ain't Pernell Whitaker. You know, he ain't Pernell Whitaker. Or other than that, Salido wouldn't have been touching him up. Fighters like, you know, B-level fighters like Salido and Linares wouldn't have been touching him up like that. You know, they could sell that. They could sell that to some other slappy fan. He very hittable. When you look at the tape, they try to say that he come on. Got no defense like that. He ain't no Mayweather, no Hopkins, and no or no Pernell Whitaker. He ain't even in the same class. Pernell Whitaker make him look silly. Chavez Sr. will make him look silly. Beat him up. Roberto Duran beat him up. Shane Mosley will beat him up at 35. Shit, Corrales might beat him up at 35. You know what I'm saying? Jose Luis Castillo might beat him up at 35. You know what I'm saying? They trying to sell you something. Man, Oscar De La Hoya probably beat him up at 35. Crawford will definitely would have beat him up at 35. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, they can sell this all they want to sell that crap to us, man. I ain't buying it. I see through their tricks and through what Bob Bam trying to do. If he pushed Terence Crawford as hard as he pushed Lomachenko, you know, Crawford might be a pay-per-view star by now. You know, he let Lomachenko go over there and fight Gary Russell, didn't he? You know? But hey, it is what it is, man. You know, this is the type of conversation they don't want to have. But it ain't no debate, man. This ain't no debate when you look at it. If Crawford had the same skin color Lomachenko had, Lomachenko was a brother, they'd be telling you how Crawford was the better pound-for-pound fighter and breaking it down just like I'm breaking it down, basically, without the race. You know, they'd be using Crawford in defense. I'm telling you. You know, they tired of seeing the brothers on top, man. I'm telling you, that's what it is. When we dominate this sport, you know what I'm saying? It's always exceptions to the rules. So they got to try to find a way to take away from us and detract from us. You know, but I ain't going to do it. I'm always keep it real about who the best fighter in the world with. And right now, it's Terence Bud Crawford. Lomachenko couldn't carry his Everlast bag. Lomachenko couldn't even touch his gloves right now. Let's keep it real. And he know it. He know it. He ain't messing with Bud Crawford. Ain't none of these dudes in the game, you know, Triple G, Canelo, you know, none of them dudes messing with Terence Crawford. Usyk, ain't none of them dudes messing with Terence Crawford. None of them. Usyk gonna go to heavyweight and get sparked out. We know this. We know this, man. Let's just keep it real, man. It's Goodfellas Sports TV. Wanted to give y'all a nice lengthy video to chop it up with, man. I definitely appreciate you guys. Thank you for supporting the channel. Shout out to all the haters that's disliking this video and negative comments and try to say this and that. Don't believe you. You ain't got no sauce. You ain't got the juice. But make sure you check us out on Facebook and Twitter, man. Maybe I might start our Instagram. I doubt it. But, you know, you can email me business inquiries. You got questions, whatever the business may be. You can reach out to me in the DM on Facebook or Twitter. You can reach out to me in the email. Also, we'll make a donation to the channel. That link's in the description as well. But y'all know what it is, man. We're going to continue to hold it down. Continue to spit fires. Continue to spit flames. Who's the best 5 rappers alive? Dylan, 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 Dylan.